Late at night, when most people were asleep, the air itself carried secrets. Across the world during the Cold War, strange voices echoed through shortwave radios. Cold, emotionless, mechanical, reading endless strings of numbers into the darkness. 74192W. Then silence. Then more numbers. No music. No station identification. No explanation. Only voices speaking to someone unknown. They became known simply as numbers stations. The broadcasts began appearing in large numbers during the mid-20th century, especially during the height of the Cold War. Anyone with a shortwave radio could hear them. Operators broadcasting from hidden locations somewhere across Europe, Russia, Asia, and the Americas. Yet no government officially admitted responsibility. The stations sounded different depending on the region. Some used male voices, others female. Some used synthesized speech. Others played eerie music before the transmission began. A few stations became infamous among radio enthusiasts. One broadcast a repeating melody from a music box. Another began with a chilling phrase. The Lincolnshire Poacher. Then the numbers would start. Thousands of people listened to these broadcasts over the decades. Not because they understood them, but because the stations felt deeply unsettling. There is something disturbing about hearing a human voice speak endlessly without emotion, as if the message was never meant for ordinary people. And according to intelligence experts, that may have been exactly the case. The most widely accepted theory is that number stations were used to communicate with spies operating in foreign countries. Agents hidden inside enemy territory, waiting beside radios late at night, writing down sequences of numbers as they arrived. The codes themselves were believed to be encrypted using one-time pads. A system so secure that, when used correctly, it is theoretically unbreakable. Which meant something terrifying. Anyone could hear the transmission. But only one person in the world might understand it. And then came the stranger part. The Cold War ended. Governments changed. The Soviet Union collapsed. But many number stations did not disappear. Some continued broadcasting into the modern era. still reading numbers into empty air, still operating without explanation. Radio hobbyists tracked them for years, recording transmissions from hidden frequencies late at night. Sometimes the station stayed silent for weeks, then suddenly returned. A few broadcasts became even more unsettling. Interrupted messages, voices stumbling over words, background noises that should not have been there. And occasionally, completely unexplained sounds. Among the most famous modern examples is a Russian station nicknamed the Buzzer. A constant buzzing tone repeated endlessly for decades. Then, without warning, a voice cuts through the noise, reading coded phrases nobody can fully explain. Skeptics argue the mystery is mostly solved. Espionage, military communication, Cold War technology lingering into modern times. And they are probably correct. But knowing the likely explanation does not make the broadcasts feel less unnatural. Because somewhere tonight, while most of the world sleeps, hidden transmitters are still sending messages across the darkness. Messages intended for unknown listeners, on frequencies most people never think to check. And if you tune in to the right station at the right time, you may hear it yourself. A lonely voice speaking numbers into the night. Calm, precise, waiting for someone, somewhere, to answer.